Hello, beautiful people. I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to share something personal about myself. I don't usually tell my business, but I'm going to share something a little bit personal. My name is June, and I have a physical condition called scoliosis. That's when the spine is curved slightly, and it starts in early childhood. It starts really in adolescence when we're very young. And my spine is a little tilted, and it kind of runs in my family. And when I was a kid, about 9 or 10 years old, maybe 12, my first cousin and our spines were curved at the same time. Well, his mother and father, my uncle and aunt, they arranged for him to have surgery. Where my parents, I don't think they even really ever paid attention to my spine or me, or they kind of more or less, they weren't together. They never really lived together. I don't remember. And I think all they really paid attention to is how much they didn't like each other. And so I had a curved spine as a child, and I didn't have the surgery. My cousin did. And so when he went into the hospital, I remember going to visit him. He had that very delicate spine surgery, and he wore a cast from his stomach, all the way up to his shoulders and the back. He had that cast on for about 6 months. And when the cast came off, he wore a brace on his back for another 6 weeks or so. And so, but he did have that surgery. When the cast came off, his spine was straight. Well, now as an adult, we're about the same age, maybe 6 months apart. He has a straight spine. And when people walk behind me, I've had people to tell me, why are you walking like that? Straighten up. It's not that terribly noticeable unless you're behind me. And you can kind of see that one shoulder's a little bit lower than the other. And of course, it's become a little bit more pronounced as I've gotten older. But it's manageable. But one thing this condition has kept me from doing, it's kept me from reaching and touching my left leg or my left foot. I can reach it, but it's a little bit difficult to reach my left ankle. When I want to put lotion on my ankle or my foot or whatever, I can reach the right. But because of the way my spine is curved, reaching that left is a little bit difficult. And I can live with it. And at this stage of my life, in my 50s, having surgery wouldn't make too much sense around about now. Be too risky. And so I've learned to live with it. It's not that deforming. And the only way somebody can notice it, they got to be right up on me. And if they're that close, I'm going to try to figure out why you so close up on me. Okay? But why did I share that with you? Because as I've gotten older, I've learned that not only was I tilted in my spine, but I've learned that because of the dysfunction in my childhood and a lot of things that I've been through, I was tilted in other ways, emotionally, psychologically, because of things I witnessed as a child, because of the neglect and a lot of things I suffered. I was tilted toward negativity, pessimism, a lot of fears. And a lot of times you don't see things, the damage that's been done until you're in later life. And you act certain ways and you wonder why. And when you trace it back, it's back when it just started bending, when it just started tilting. And your environment, things that happen, cause you to tilt in that direction. A lot of people that were molested as children, they grew up very promiscuous, and we just call them loose, we call them all kind of names, but we don't know what tilted them that way. And so when I learned that I was just a negative person, that I was pessimistic, that I would always think of the worst case scenario, I saw that that was just something that my life had shaped me to be. And I kind of call that emotional scoliosis. Now, this old body I have here, there's not much I can do about it. But as I began to study the scriptures, I began to realize I don't have to live with that tilt in my mind, in my emotions, and in my spirit. As soon as I recognized that condition, I couldn't have the physical surgery. But I learned that there was a doctor in the house as far as my emotions. I understood the scriptures. And Jesus said, "Come unto me, all you that are heavy burdened, and I will give you rest. And then there's another scripture that talk about that he would make the mountains low and make the crooked straight. And I'm telling you, I went to the master surgeon of the soul, of the emotions, of the heart. And I mean, it took some time because he had to first perform the surgery. And it was very difficult for him to perform it. It took a process of time. And then for a long time, when I wanted to excel in ministry and I wanted to do certain things, I realized that I couldn't do it because I was still healing from surgery. But God knew that I had to be covered. So he covered me with his scriptures, and especially Psalms and Proverbs. He covered me with the scriptures. And that was my brace. That was my cast on my back and my brace that held me together to protect the work that God had done. And for a long time, when I wanted to get in ministry, it wasn't time yet because I wasn't through healing from that surgery. But I'm here to tell you, God did straighten out that tilt that I had. That tilt that kept me from reaching goals that I had aspired to when it should have been easy. But because of the way I was curved in my thinking and in my emotions, I couldn't reach, just like I couldn't reach my left foot. I couldn't reach a lot of goals that God had set for my life. Well, now the cast has come off. And I'm telling you, I see myself excelling. I see my business taking off. I see ministry being blessed in ministry. And I've even had an opportunity now to guest host on a national radio broadcast, a national Christian radio broadcast. I'm getting books published. I'm just having some beautiful things because God had to straighten out that tilt in my thinking and help me to realize now you can reach for that goal successfully without that much difficulty. It's a beautiful blessing when God heals you of emotional scoliosis. Now I'm going to tell you, I've accepted that this whole body is what it is. It's just what it is. It's got to die anyway. And I'm ready to, and the scriptures tell me, he said, for we have a building, not this old thing, but we have a building not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. I have to accept what's in this physical body, and I can live with it. But I thank God that even though I have a physical disability, it's not that bad, but it's a physical disability, in my spirit, what's been curved or tilted, has been straightened out. And now I'm happy, I'm enjoying life, and I'm celebrating that I have been healed from emotional scoliosis. And he healed me, and he can heal you too. You don't have to be subject to those quiet, secret habits, those addictions and things you can't break. Something tilted you that way. And God said he will make the crooked straight, and he won't lie. Thank you for listening to me. And a spirit can be healed with a word well spoken. Talk to you again on another video. Bye.